young man in this young man's game.
It's now or it's never.
Mr. Foreman, that funny little grill deal you signed is starting to generate some substantial checks.
Really? Now I'm just surprised they chose a big old fat guy like me to sell a grill to help people get lean.
Hey Jamal, how you doing?
You doing, brother? Been a while since I bumped into you. But good to see you all, as always.
Good to see you.
First, congratulations. Great movie. I really enjoyed your casting for this. I always love to see Forrest, but I mean, I'm really discovering, Chris Davis as a great actor. It's a great team with your casting, director, and everything else of making this thing. My first question is, after doing Notorious as a biopic, like what did you learn from that one that you implemented it into this one? I'm sure you learned from all your films, but is there anything specifically about Notorious?
Yeah, that was the difference. The difference is, is George Foreman still alive? He's still here. And making a biopic, sometimes when the protagonist that you're telling the story about is right next to you or near you, it gives it extra pressure, you know what I mean? And when I was making Notorious, Christopher Wallace's life was at 24. Here, I was covering 1960 to 1994. So one of the things I learned is how to be able to connect the threads for so long of a narrative. And for George, I was able to connect for me in this movie is this young kid, man, it was overlooked. That a teacher wouldn't even look at him just because the way he dressed and the clothes that he wore. He was written off. And that was something that drove George all the way through in his life, looking for, approval until the point where approval has to come within inside yourself. And as a young black director myself, that's something I knew from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I wanted to direct at an early age, but a lot of my friends in Milwaukee were saying nobody directs movies from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I was written off. So those are the things I was able to learn and be able to take, towards this film.
At 32 years of age, can Muhammad Ali dance and stay away from Foreman? After what Foreman did to Frazier, Ali would seem to have no chance. All questions will be answered.
That's all you got, George? Come on.
Yeah. Speaking of being written off, I know you and Bob Teitel, y'all try to get Scenes from the Soul is one of the first projects that you really try to push through and didn't have all the success because of a number of factors of companies going bankrupt and everything. Like, is there anything about that film that you still want to revisit and do? And I know some of that probably played into Soul Food, but is there anything from Scenes from the Soul that you feel like you left on the table?
It's so interesting, man. It's like that was a tough time for me at that time. We sold that movie and it was about to come out. The company went out of business. And then I heard they lost a few reels, like the last reel of the movie or something. Like, you got all 2 acts, but you don't have a 3rd act. I'm like, what? You lost the reels? What? How do you come back from that, man? And I just came back, and it was more personal, which is where Soul Food came from, with my family, the Sunday dinners. I didn't know that was going to have any effect on anybody. I just felt like I wanted to tell a story about my grandmother and the dinners and the soul food. So that just tells you just stick to what you believe in. And I just try to tell stories that connects to here. And I hope people keep coming and keep enjoying it and keep seeing it. So that was a learning lesson. Sometimes in your losses, you get wins. And that was a loss from that movie not coming out, but it was a win because I was able to do, people know as Soul Food as my first film. So thank you for asking about that. I haven't thought about that in a long time. I try to forget about that.
Last question, just going back to, growing up in your childhood. I know that your dad worked in a plant in Kenosha, and I know we're a little bit past that tragedy in Kenosha, but when you seen that, everything going down with Rittenhouse and everything in Kenosha, how attached were you to that, being a kid from Milwaukee and having that neighboring town go through that? How did that feel to you for it to be so neighboring to your life?
Yeah, that was very, that's with me, man, because my father worked in the automobile business all his life, man, starting at American Motors, right in Milwaukee, and then Chrysler opened up in Kenosha, and, you know, just that hard-driven, you know, working class, you know, individual, man. My dad would get up at 3:30 in the morning, 4 in the morning, just to drive 45 minutes to make it on working time at 7, you know what I mean, and work till 3. And then hear his son that I want to tell movies. Like, where did that come from? I mean, where movies? You know what I mean? So always a respect to the working class, to blue collar, to my family and my friends. You know, because I live in Los Angeles since 1995, man. But what's inside me is what's from the Midwest, and that's something that's never forgotten. You know, there was a story too, man. I remember my father getting out of the car. My mom drove him to work. This is when he was working in Milwaukee. And he got out of the car. I told my dad, I said, I want to work at American Motors too, right next to you, Dad, because it looked like it was fun, all the men going to work. And my dad looked at me, says, no, you're not going to ever work here. You know, I was like, why? It looks like fun. No, you're going to be doing something different. And now I look back as him pushing me. So those are the stories that you take in as a man, as a young man.
Yeah, well, always inspiration, always a great director. I appreciate your time, George, and can't wait to see you again in person, man, and can't wait to see all the other projects you got.
Oh, thank you. Nice seeing you. Take care of yourself.